Hi guys, Mack here with a chat. I'm going to speak my mind here. Things that I want to talk about that I've read in the past few weeks. I might do these once a month or so, just kind of speaking me heart, I guess. In a way that I don't have to concentrate on a game. I can talk about anything I want. You don't have to listen, but if you do listen, then be prepared, because I have no script and never use them. Anything could come out of my brain here, which I'm probably going to regret. So there is something I want to talk about first off though. Tomb Raider, my review. I've had a bit of a break after that because I got a bit pissed off with all the abuse that I got for doing that review. But there's a couple of points I want to make. I didn't thumb the game down because it was a linear game. I like linear games if they're done well, like Half-Life. That's a linear game, done very well. No hand holding, no clues as to what you have to do in the sense that you get nowadays. Just a game that's a solid game where the guards will spot you hundreds of meters away. They will shoot accurately at you whilst using cover. They will work together, I guess. I mean, you have situations in Half-Life where one guy's sitting in the back shooting, sort of suppressing you, another guy's coming straight at you, and there's another guy trying to go around the edge of you. I've seen that happen loads of times when I'm facing off against three guys. It's they're accurate. They have amazing vision. They spot you a bloody mile. They usually spot you before you even know there's a guard there. Many a times in Half-Life I just come under fire and I'm thinking, where the hell? And you see a guard at like about 150 meters away, crouched behind a barrel, just with very accurate fire, because these are trained guards, military. But you know, you look at Metal Gear Solid, you look at Tomb Raider, you know, the bloody blind as bats. You know, I'm breakdancing on the floor in front of the buggers and they can't even see me. And when they do see me, you know what they do? They don't open fire. They'll say, was that someone over there? And then they'll walk a bit. Yeah, it is. There she is over there. They still haven't fired. They're too busy fucking telling everybody of their intentions. And then by the time they even think about firing, you've had enough time to have your breakfast and shoot both the testicles with arrows. It's dumbed down gaming. That's what dumbed down gaming is. I don't like it. The only time I can play dumbed down gaming is if the rest of the game is sublime, is really catches me. Tomb Raider, if you take away the bad AI, what you got left? You've got puzzles. Let's have a look at the puzzles of Tomb Raider. They're all like infantile puzzles. I mean, take this one here, the cistern. You have to get the artifact from the top of the tower that you can't reach. There's no way of climbing to it. The only way of getting it is if you can raise the water level. So how do you do that? Well, very easily, because if you look around the room, you'll see these circular wooden plugs in the wall that are clearly blocking a flow of water because there's water dripping out of them. Now, the only way you can destroy them is by explosives, and the only things that you've got in the room, in the entire area, you have 4 petrol cans, a raft, and some beam hanging by 2 chains from the ceiling that obviously activates something. So, you know, you jump on the chain and you realise that what that does is it lets water in from the right hand side, which pushes the raft past the little thing you have to destroy. So it doesn't take any kind of brain power to work out that you have to get a petrol can onto the raft, and then as it passes the window, the little wooden thing, you shoot it to blow it up, water comes out. That's the puzzle, guys. You know, I mean, in the room next door there's another water thing you've got to blow up, but the only way you can get the petrol can to that one is again to throw it on the raft. You knock a hole in the wall, which is so easy to spot. It's just a bunch of loose fucking bricks, and I can't play these games, guys. I mean, every time there's the remotest chance of a difficult puzzle, Lara tells you what it is. I mean, you come across the Russian base and you see all the Russian helicopters and stuff, and she goes, we can't go in that way, we'll be too easily seen. We need to find another way in. And as she's saying that, the camera is panning to the right to show you exactly where you have to go. I can't play these games. You know, Lara Croft is so agile. She can climb, she can jump, she can leap, she can swing, she can do all these things, but she can't reach a piece of wood 2 foot above her head. I mean, there's a part of the game where you have to disable these pylons, and there's one on a bit of a rocky thing, and the only way you can get there is a rope. But I climbed a halfway point between this rope where the road has an intersection, and I looked at the rope, and the rope's about, fair enough, it's about 6 feet above us. You couldn't reach that, but there's a piece of wood above me that I could easily, as I am now, a middle-aged guy, could pull myself up there, and then I could reach the rope. And I tried to do that with Lara, but no, you can't do that. You can climb Mount Everest with your nipples, but you can't reach that piece of wood, because the developers don't want you to. They want you to go around here and jump through all these hoops. There's another bit, there's the sawmill just on the same level, where you've got 2 bags of loot hanging from the ceiling by a rope. That's all. Just a piece of rope holding these loot bags from the ceiling. Now, I've got a gun, I've got arrows, I could shoot through the ropes, or I could cut the ropes with the arrow tips. 2 ways I could easily get that. Tried shooting the rope, no, it's indestructible rope. The developers don't want you to be able to shoot the rope. It's all contradicting, you see. It contradicts itself. Lara can scramble up pieces of wood if they've got white paint on them, but other pieces of wood that don't have white paint on, she can't scramble up. It's a contradiction. I can't play that. How can you? I don't know. I just can't. I mean, fair enough. If you like these kind of games, good luck to you. You go and play them. But I can't do it. I can't play this contradictory hand-holding bullshit, because that's all this game is. I've played it for, I think, 8 hours now, and that's all I've come across. And all the levels I've done, that's all I've come across. Shitty, stupid guards, dumbed down childlike puzzles, totally linear, done badly. That's all there is to it on these games, and people are giving this 9 out of 10. F*** off, will you? You know, I don't mind you coming on my channel and saying, you know what, Mac, I didn't like your Tomb Raider review. I actually like this kind of game. But don't come on and say, you know what, Mac, the AI is actually good. The puzzles are very challenging. Don't go there because they're just not. That's just lying. That's just because they're not. I mean, even in my video, I show how bad the AI is. I'm fucking breakdancing in front of 2 of the c***s. And how can you come on and say the AI is good? And then people say, Mac, stop playing on easy. And then you might find it challenging. I've never played a game on easy in my life. Am I that good at games that when you watch me play, you think I'm playing on easy because I'm making it look so easy? Is that what it is? I'll take that as a compliment then. But I'm not playing on easy. I play on either hard or normal, depending on how familiar I am with the game. With Tomb Raider, I chose normal, which has no aim assists or anything like that, simply because I've never played a Tomb Raider game for 20 years. And I breezed it. I breezed through it. It's just bullshit. It's bullshit. It's just predictable bullshit. But if you like this thing, it doesn't mean you're a bad person. But don't try and convince me that it's a good game, because it's just not. Worse than that, don't come on and start hurling abuse at us just because you're upset. I mean, you know, I've had people coming on saying, I hope you die of a horrible disease. I hope your children die. I hope your wife dies. I hope you have a car crash. I hope your house burns down. I hope you die. One guy saying, I'm going to come and find you and I'm going to beat the shit out of you. All because I fucking thumbed down Tomb Raider. I mean, what kind of sad people are you people? You can't cope with it. How do you know, I wonder how these people cope with life. They can't cope with a bad review. I mean, that's what it is. When people post stuff like that, it's because they literally cannot cope with a bad review. I mean, what chance have they got in life? You know how hard life is. When life throws some really big shit at you, how are these people ever going to cope with life if they can't even cope with reading a bad review of a game they like? I mean, there's games I love and I read reviews that are bad about them and I just go, oh well, your opinion. You know, I don't kind of wish they would die in a fire. I guess it's because I'm mature. I've grown up. You know, these people haven't. They're just little emotional, hyper children. But the problem with that is there's a lot of them out there. And it does affect you. I mean, let's talk about TotalBiscuit, for example. He's quit all forms of social media, guys. I'm drinking a cup of tea here, by the way, so if I stop for a slurp, you'll just have to. That was an exaggerated slurp, but you know. But yeah, TotalBiscuit. He's quit all social media. Why? Because it's so toxic. And this guy is a self-confessed addict to social media. He loves his social media, and he's got massive followings on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and all the rest of it. But he's quit everything except the ones that he needs to keep his business going, the YouTube and things like that. But he's quit Twitter, Reddit, and all these. And you know, I had a bit of a look at why, and when I looked at why he's quit, it's so sad that these people are treating him. There's a guy who's got terminal cancer, and there's these toxic little wasted people who are just giving him hell. Alright, so you don't like TotalBiscuit. So what? He's still a human being. He has to wake up every morning and look in that mirror and know that he's been told that he's dying of cancer. How much of his inner strength do you think it takes for him just to get through the day with his head above water? Just off that one thing alone, the cancer. And he has to do that every single day. He has to use that strength just to get through the day. That's with nothing bad happening in the day. Just that one thing to get through the day requires that huge amount of strength that that man must have. Then on top of that, you've got all these little wasted people who are gloating that he's dying, gloating that he's got this horrible disease. So he has to deal with all that. Then he's got his job to do, and this job isn't easy. People think, oh, you just play games all day. It's fucking not that easy. It's very long hours. I work longer hours than probably most of you guys. I mean, you know, doing a 60-hour week to me is a cushy bit. I'm doing 75 hours a lot of the time. You know, it's just, and everybody is that does this. You have to. And, you know, when you're doing a game you don't like, that's not pleasant. It really isn't. And Undertale, anybody? Yeah. So it isn't easy. Then you've got to entertain people. You have to edit, you have to record, you have to research, you have to do a lot of things, and it all takes time, and that takes a lot out of you. You can get wrecked. So he's doing all that as well, but then he's doing it a hell of a lot more than most people because he's so popular. I get hundreds of emails, and I have to go through, I spend each day at least an hour and a half just going through messages people send me, you know, and he must get more than that. So this guy is superhuman to do what he's doing. I mean, I have nothing but admiration for the man. I mean, he's just incredible that he is doing all this and keeping his head above water, because that's what he's doing. But when I read that people are saying, oh, he's disabled comments on YouTube because he can't take the criticism, I just kind of shake my head in disbelief at such a retarded comment as that. Because you see, do you want to know what dealing with the criticism is? I'll tell you what it is. Every time I release a AAA game that I thumb down, or a big game, a popular game that I thumb down, it's really nothing for me to receive over 100 pieces of hate, whether they are comments, emails, or whatever. Easily, I'll have to read the very next day, or not even the very next day, within 2 hours, I will have to read at least 100 people telling me to die, or wishing bad things on my family or everybody else, or that I'm just the worst person doing my job on the planet and I should really quit immediately. So that's that. The next day it might be down to 70, and the day after 50, and the day after 30, and the day after that 20. But the problem is, by then I've released another one, so it's back up to 100, and then the following day it's down to 70, then to 50, then to 20, and then so on. And then I release another, and then it's back to 100. And I long for a game that's a thumb up. It's brilliant. But then when it's a thumb up, like when I did the thumb up of Homeworld, I got about 100 hate mails for that, saying that I've been fucking paid off. So I'm damned if I do, I'm damned if I don't. You know, whatever I release, I get hate mail en masse, easily 100. It's awful. And I'm reading all of this, because you got to read it, because you don't know it's hate mail till you read it, do you? So you got to read it. So you can't escape it, you can't dodge it. I've been doing this now for nearly 2 years. The first year, I took it all on the chin, you know, didn't bother us. After 4 months of the year after that, it was getting to us a bit, but you know, I'm dealing with it. But as it gets on, and it just gets more relentless, you get to a point where you suddenly realise that it is getting to you. You walk away from your PC and you feel slimed. It's like in Ghostbusters, you know, he slimed me, and you see them, Dan Aykroyd covered in slime off a ghost. That's how you feel. You feel slimed. You get off your PC and you're not in a happy mood. You're not in a good mood. You're agitated. You're angry. You're running through, these comments are running through your head. You're starting to feel yourself falling. You're starting to question whether you should even be doing this. You know, you question, is it worth it anymore? Should I just disable comments? And it does get to you. And that's why when people say, oh, you just can't handle the criticism that goes with the turf. Well, TotalBiscuit said that several of his colleagues that do this are all in therapy. And I fully understand that. Totally understand. Totally do. Because when you are under a relentless attack, just from one area, and that's what you have to understand, this is one area, I've still got to deal with life, with what life's thrown at me, outside of my job. So I've still got life, and you know how hard life is. And I've had a rough life, very rough life. Others have had it worse, but I've had it quite bad. I'm lucky to be alive, to be honest with you. And I don't want to go into it, but I've had a really rough time in life. Most of it my own fault, so I'm not looking for sympathy. It just is a fact that I've had a rough life. So I've been weakened anyway, and then I've got to deal with this, and I'm dealing with it. I am. But I take exception when people say you can't handle criticism. It's not about handling criticism. Imagine you go to work, you might work in a call centre, you might work for a council, you might be a civil servant, you might work in an office, you could be a solicitor or an accountant, it is irrelevant. You imagine you turn up for work on Monday morning, you've had a good weekend, you're all on top of the world. Alright lads, did you watch the football at the weekend and all that? Oh yeah, it was great, wasn't it? Oh, by the way, there's 100 letters come for you, all personally addressed to you. Oh really? Oh well, I'll just get through these then. And every one of them is wanting you to go and die, wishing your kids had cancer, wishing your house would burn down. People saying that, hey look, you know what, you're an accountant, you're the worst fucking accountant on the planet, pack your job in now, just go and see your boss, resign and just go, cause you're shit. Everybody else is better than you at that job. You know, imagine you have to read through 100 of them. How do you reckon the rest of your day is going to be? Are you going to sit there and tell me, oh, I wouldn't bat an eyelid, wouldn't bother me? Because you're lying, if that's what you say, because you'll get flashbacks to these all through the day. Because it'll have hurt you. Some of it'll have hurt. Personal. And then you go to bed, you know, you think about it and think, it's fine, it's fine. And the next day you wake up, alright, there's another 50 letters come for you here. Actually, sorry, there's 70. There you go. And so you got to open them and read all that, and it's all the same again. And again. And again. And you know what? This doesn't stop. This is 365 days of the year. Think about that. Now, yes, you do get a lot of positive stuff. I get some great emails, and I've got an amazing bunch of subscribers. And these are a minority, these bad apples. But you kind of remember the bad apples more because they hurt more. And a girl said to me about 3 or 4 weeks ago, said, Mack, why do you reply to all these trolls, yet you very rarely reply to the nice people? And I've been thinking about that a lot lately, and she's right. I go on the defensive, and that's because of who I am. That's because of my past. That's my old self kicking in, the retaliation factor. I mean, I actually messaged a guy 2 days ago wanting to come to wherever he is in the UK to beat the fuck out of him. And that was me slipping up into my past, because that's how I used to be. Nobody ever did anything to me and got away with it because of the stupidity of me. If I couldn't beat them in a fight, I'd get a bat and put them in hospital, because I used to be a football hooligan. I'm not proud of it, but that's what got me into a lot of trouble in my early days from 17 to 22 or whatever the hell it was. And I would never back down. I would just find ways of getting to people. And that was because of the influences of running with a gang. That's what happens. That's what happens to you. You lose all social skills and you become a Neanderthal. And I got out of that, and I'm a changed person now. But I found myself becoming back to what I'd tried so many years to get out of, and I swore I would never get into a fight again. And I won't. I'll never do it. I've seen too many horrors in my life. That's where your mental strength comes in. That's where you have to dig deep and pull yourself up and say, hey look, these people are so scummy and unimportant that I'm not even going to bother with them anymore. F*** them. They're just so sad people that why bother? I've got such amazing subscribers. Loads of them. Absolutely amazing. And so I'm going to make a concerted effort to just ignore the trolls. I'm just banning them. And I'm going to try and reply more to the nice guys and just ignore the haters. The only thing I'm going to beat up's the bell. So there you go. So when I saw TotalBiscuit going through the shit that he's going through, I felt so sorry for him. He has done more for the gaming industry than pretty much anybody that I know. He's had a massive influence. He has forced some developers to change their whole way of doing things. He has refused to be bribed. He has refused to conform to what a lot of people conform to. You know what I'm talking about. And he hasn't done that. He has just sat there being honest. And if people don't like him, well, he just says, well, you don't have to like me, but I'm not changing. And I have nothing but admiration for the guy. I think he does a professional job with his reviews. I think he's absolutely spot on. And I have nothing but admiration for him. He's a local guy as well. He's from about 7 miles up the road from me, so we do have a lot in common. We both do exactly the same job, and we both are from the same neck of the woods. He doesn't deserve any of what he's getting now, and I think a lot of people should be bloody well ashamed of themselves. They need to look in the mirror, give their head a shake, and think, what the f*** are they doing? He's a human being. Why can't we just get along? You know, why do people have to be so horrible? You know, I mean, So I wish him well. I hope he beats this cancer, because it's not over yet. I hope he beats it and just totally turns the tables on everybody. I'd love to see that. I really would love to see him beat that. So that's that out the way. Somebody mentioned to me the other day about my reviews. They said, you know, your reviews have changed from, they used to be like 5 minutes, and now they're like 18, 19, 20 minutes. Do you not want to go back to the way they used to be? And I don't know. I don't know why they are so long now. I think it's because I get so sidetracked. I mean, if I look back at the early ones, I was just totally focused on the game. And maybe I mean, you can let me know in the comments if you want me to go back to that and start and cut out all the bullshit. I don't mind. I mean, I really don't. But I want to do what you guys want. I mean, it's your channel, really. You're the ones that laugh. You're the ones that get so much pleasure out of watching the videos that I do. That, what do you want us to do? Do you want us to cut the lengths down to, because I could. I mean, I can just cut out swathes of things and bring the length right down, and just every time I go off at a tangent talking about some bullshit like cyclists or something, I don't know, I can just cut all that out and just leave totally focused on the game. Would you like me to structure the videos? I mean, I never ever script me videos. The time I record is pretty much the second I exit the game. I open Audacity and hit rec. That's what I do. I'll be playing the game, 10 seconds later I'm actually saying the friggin' game title, is it worth a buy? I go into it so fast. I don't think about anything. I don't structure my... I mean, if you look at TotalBiscuit, his are all structured so well. He's such a pro. I'm the exact opposite of that. I'm like somebody down the pub who's had, you know, a few sherbets and is trying to explain what a game's like. But that's the way I've always been, you know. That's just my personality, really. So let us know in the comments what you want us to do with these videos. Do you just want us to keep them going? I mean, some are short. I did one the other day that was 7 minutes. So, or was that a dream? I don't know. But, you know, I can do whatever. So let me know. Anything else as well, you know, ask away in the comments. On the subject of censoring, by the way, I never ever ban people or delete comments that say that my review's shit. Which is why there's so many comments saying my reviews are shit, because that's fine. I don't mind any of that. I'm all for, I can take criticism of what I do. I just don't like personal attacks. So that's just to clarify. I will never delete a comment. If you post a comment and it doesn't show there, that's because it's all up for moderation, so it does take time. Comments don't appear instantly on my channel, but don't double post, because I'll just have to delete it and it's more work. So yeah, there is that. So yeah, that's about it. Next up is XCOM 2, and all I've got to say on that is I've only ever played the first XCOM, and how many years ago was that? And I didn't like it. Yeah. But I won't let that sway my verdict. I'm not just going to thumb it down because I'm not into XCOM. I might like it. I don't know. It looks pretty decent, actually. So I'm going to start playing that. It's going to drop in a few hours, I think. So it might even have dropped by the time you read this. You're not reading this, you're listening to it. So there you go, guys. I just wanted to say all that. And I wish TotalBiscuit well. I know you'll not be listening to this, but if you are, then beat that horrible disease. I really hope you do. I sincerely hope you do. And thank you all for being such awesome people. I mean, you know, I do really mean that. I mean, I'm lucky. I do get abuse, but I have a lot of amazing people. Not just the donators, but the regular people who just watch my videos and say nice things. And I mean, I get emails every day and comments saying, we love what you're doing. You know, you're helping me get through bad times by making me laugh. And I love making people laugh. There's not many people can say that, you know, every day they make thousands of people laugh. Well, I can. I get up on a morning, and by the time I've gone to bed, thousands of people have had a laugh. That's amazing. That's why I do it. F the money. That's why I do this. It's just that sense of job satisfaction. I've worked as a lot of things in my life, and I've never ever had the job satisfaction that I've got now. It's just incredible, and I'm going to do this for the rest of my life if I can, because I love doing it, and it's thanks to you guys. So sorry this week's been a bit sparse. Next week will not be. Best of the Rest is coming hopefully as well next week, and we're going to be doing a few horrors in February. I'm going to fix this bell. I'm actually going to get my toolkit out. I only get my toolkit out for special occasions, but I'm going to do Mackie waffling again. I'm just going to try this. Oh, hey, I found what's wrong. The actual strut has come off. I wonder if I can weld that. That's what's wrong. That's what I've actually, I wish I could show you this, but that's actually what's wrong. It's come off because I've hit it so hard. That means it's not repairable because the base is, what's that tin? That's what's wrong, and that's why it won't. I've pushed it out the way there, and it might be alright. I just can't hit this bell. This bell's kind of got to go into retirement now. It can't take a full-on Mack slap, which is a shame because pretty much every game that's going to be released this year is going to have some content that requires a Mack slap. Never mind. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you later.